100% sure. So the box is just fabulous.
And these are the ones that she published herself, right?
Well, she published all these
All
herself
these
first.
herself
All
first.
of them first.
Okay.
All of her decks first,
Yeah.
and then she got picked up by Hay House very, very quickly. Like she said, somebody who did the fundraising. What is it called? Kickstarter. With her. But I don't know if Matt's busy trying to get her back, or if we can show these cards. But and let's see. These cards are. That's part of the deck. There, I'm gonna take this one out. Absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, those are cool.
Aren't they pretty? I
And
mean,
they
they really are pretty. And then they've
It's like
got
a rose edge.
they got a
kind of
rose
a
edge
rose-colored edge.
color, and they've got just some really cool cards. This actually for me quickly became. Oh, it's going to be one of my favorite decks. I just love it, and she does like instead of cups, she does like emotions. Do we have you back, Chris-Ann? We're getting her back. And then, yeah, and then so she does, and then we have we have the night of, welcome back.
Thank you.
We were saying it, when Bennabelle was on, the same thing happened. So it's just sometimes the connection drops, even though we're Ethernetted. Is that what you call it? Ethernetted? Yeah, so.
Hardwired in, and it still drops occasionally.
We were talking about your cards, and the Queen of Materials, the Ace of Voices. So she calls it those instead of like cups, pentacles, swords, and wands. So these are gorgeous. And then do you want to show the other ones?
Okay, so.
And we're going to open your.
And this is a massive book in here.
I
at
love
this.
a massive book. It's not
How many
highlighted
times
yet.
have
Is
you-
it highlighted yet? I
Wait.
can't ever be the one who. I need a deck to
No.
put up, and then I need the deck because I'm the one who like highlights in
Yeah,
my
she
book.
hasn't highlighted this one up yet.
I'm trying to keep it nice without my highlights.
And
So this
so the
light
other.
seers.
So what I noticed you did like the edging on these. You know, like a lot of people do the gold edge or the silver or the rose gold things. You did the colors.
So which deck is that? Is this once this got to Hay House, or is this your? I don't think I. Okay.
Yeah, Sacred
Those are the-
Creators. I
Yeah,
don't see
Sacred
any-
Creator. So yeah, oh good, I've got the independent
Oh,
ones.
they're numbered. They're numbered on the
That's
ends.
right. So
They
I
absolutely
did,
are.
but
Yeah.
so those are really pretty too. And we've used the
These
Light
we have
Seers
used.
Trove. We've used on the show. In fact, we used that last show. But we thought I was telling the listeners and those who listen. We have a lot of people who listen later too. During the time we lost you, it was almost 8:00. And we had said that we'll do a few readings, but I was just going to look briefly. I went ahead and gave your Pitsy Curio Instagram. Is that the best way for people to get a hold of you? Or what's the best way now to get a hold
Yes,
of
I
you?
think so. Between the Instagram, I am, I don't always see all of the messages, but if
So I'm just going to look. Did you go through the questions? See if is there anything else?
No. So when Hay House produces the deck too, is it going to have the green edge?
No, I wish it would. They can't do that for mass market because that's something that's hand done by the printers.
They're doing their own edging, and so that makes them be a part of it, just
Yeah.
like you had them be a part of it all along. So that's kind of
And-
another way to look at it.
We get to see all of the different colors and what they would look like too, right?
Yeah. So I saw one that they had beautiful different colors, for the suits, and then a different color for the major arcana. So I think that people are having fun with that.
Oh,
So they're great. Let's see. I was going to say, so we kind of went out when we were talking about Instagram, and what I meant, you guys, by trying to get a hold of her is, she's not going to probably be able to respond to every single person, but as far as getting the decks now, you can get them through Soultopia. But my primary question now do they get all of your decks now through Hay House, or can they buy things still through you?
So the Sacred Creators Oracle is available until I think it's June,
Okay.
and then 6 months prior, yes, it'll be June, and then the Hay House version comes out in December. So by contract, I stopped selling them 6 months prior to when the Hay House decks come out. It's kind of this. I think the hybrid model is new for them too, and so we're testing, is the 6 month space between the two, does that make sense? Is it going to work? So there will be a 6 month period where the deck won't be available, and then after that, it will be through Hay House like the Muse and Light Seers.
So if you want Sacred Creators, you guys, like I do, then the Sacred Creators Oracle, you would go to your website to order that, to Sacred.
Exactly.
Okay, and it's to it's Sacred, and this one's number 2. I'm special.
So that
The Sacred Creators website to order the Sacred Creations deck until June. You can
June.
get a hold of it.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's go in, if you're willing. Let's do,
Wanna
we
do-
have anybody that wanted a reading? We kind of posted that late because we weren't sure if we'd
Well,
have time.
there was, and, since we got knocked off a little bit there, I know who they were though. So the first one came across on YouTube, and it was Carla. All
Okay.
these are general readings. Nobody
Okay,
asked
so
for anything
Carla.
in particular. So the first one was Carla.
And I will go ahead I know, Chris-Ann, you probably set your intentions one way and Roger sets it another, but I'll just say for the show, if this is okay, that we'll set our intentions that our readings be for the best and highest good of those to whom we're reading for. And for me, and I'll just go ahead and add in that I always add that no ego of mine come into play when I'm doing a reading. So if that's okay for you, and you just set whatever intention you want to set, but what we'll do is maybe do a 1-card pull and each give a little short reading. Is that okay with you?
Sure,
Okay.
yeah. And the way that I usually, well, you will see it in my style. I tend to look at, I mean, it's probably comes through in my guidebooks as well, kind of like where we can look for answers as well. So, but I'm excited. Yeah, let's
Just
let's
any
do it.
way you want to do it. Yeah, just yeah. And if we're not doing it, we all have different styles, but due to time, I kind of call them lightning rounds, where we just sort of give a little, what's coming up and what we see just from that they may need to know, or what they could do to work on that if something comes up. And I try to stick. Are you dropping the
I
cards?
dropped it.
Is that
I
a full
dropped half
deck
the
now? No. Oh wow, this is a beautiful card. Are you willing to start, Chris-Ann? Or do you want me to?
Sure,
Okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
So if my video goes off, it's because I'm just having trouble hearing you, and I just
She's actually.
Is she talking?
yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
Okay. Then I don't want to talk over you. I'm sorry. I just didn't know you were talking. So have you already given your reading while I was talking over you?
You know what? I'm so sorry, and I didn't hear her question either.
Okay. Can you? I'm just going to ask you if you can hear me to go ahead and give your reading.
I can hear you perfectly.
If you can just let me know if she's reading or not, because I'm not watching.
Well, I don't know because it's turned down over here.
Ah.
There, she's back.
Okay. So while I've got you, did you already give your reading where they could hear it, do you think? Okay. Could you give your reading for Carla?
I wasn't able. Well, I didn't hear the question.
It's a general, she just said, could you tell me what I need to know?
Okay. Carla. Awesome. All right. So I have 2 cards that I'm combining here for her message. I have and I'll show you here.
I think there's some sort of saying, right? Thunderstorms in January, something, something, something. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. In Texas, it's one day it's snow, one day it's hot, one day it's hail. I mean, in Texas, it's
We had a
everything.
beautiful day yesterday. I mean, totally beautiful. And then today, this afternoon, it was thundering, raining, hailing, and it's supposed to continue through the evening. So I'm not sure, can't see out actually, but I think that's why we keep going in and out. So I think we probably need to kind of cut a little short here. Maybe
Yeah.
do this one and then wrap it up.
That's fine. Do you want to go?
Sure. Okay, so Carla, I got the 8 of Pentacles, but what I really like about this card is, it's actually, she's sitting here in the chair, Carla, and she's surrounded by herbs and books and candles and feathers, and she's just sitting there. She's got the moon phases coming around. She's got a lot of things just magical happening. And I think if you really think about it, Carla, is with you, you have a lot of very magical things that flow around you all the time. And I think you need to take advantage of those things and take advantage of that magic that flows around you, and bring that more into your life every day.
And Carla, hopefully I can hold this one up or we can go to that camera, because these cards, I just want you guys to see how beautiful they are. They're absolutely gorgeous. And this is the Nine of Voices, which I'm interpreting to be the Nine of Swords. Okay. And so here's what I see for you, Carla. I see that it feels to me, and I'll hold the card up again. It feels to me, and you'll know why, I feel like, that you feel a little bit like you're hanging on kind of by a thread. You're just hanging on, but you know there's magic, and you know that you have security in your faith and your friends and the tribe you have, your sisterhood. But it feels like there are times when you just feel like you're just barely hanging on by the kind of just the knowingness. It doesn't feel as secure. It's almost like opposite of root chakra and crown chakra. Sometimes you feel almost like turned upside down on that. And you feel like more that you're having to count on more of that spirituality instead of really feeling like you're real steady in your root chakra. And I want you to tell you, that's okay. That's how it's supposed to be. And that's what I see in this card for you. And that you will bring it all together. Just give it a little bit more time. Do you want to end it with that?
Yeah, I think so. Just because I'm not sure I think that's probably what it is with the internet going in and out.
So because of the storms here in Dallas, and thankfully they're not storms like we had in
like a month ago.
A month ago we had storms
last summer.
Yeah, and Roger Chris Ann, he works in the window business also, and so he goes into people's homes and.
Jim Baker's over here sending me a message. Hey, what about these windows that I do?
He's asking you about windows, Jim Baker.
Like,
do you know Jim? Jim Baker and Pamita, they came to our store, and he does palm reading. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
But so Roger does windows, and so he'll now point out all the houses to me that still have not been repaired off of one of the major roads in Dallas, and so every time it starts to hail around
these
here,
are like $2 million homes, and they're just destroyed.
and even if they weren't that,
No,
even for the people who in the smallest homes in the hotels, it was so sad. And so to have that right in the middle of Dallas, I think every time we get hail, people kind of, especially when we get snow here in Texas. Where do you live, by the way, Chris Ann?
I am in Canada, north of Toronto, so we have a ton of snow.
Well, for us, we're big babies when it comes to snow. If there's a meme with a Solo cup and some ice where they pour the ice on the concrete, and everybody's going like this, going, cancel school. Nobody's going to work just because there's like 3 pieces of ice from the refrigerator on. So when we have hail lately, I think people get a little jumpy. And that's probably what happened with our internet tonight.
Yeah.
But we thank you so much. And this just means you have to come back on.
Oh, I would love to. Thank you so much for having me. And you mentioned that are you going to be in Portland in March?
Yes.
Me too. So we'll be able
Awesome.
to meet each other in person.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Yes.
That'll be nice.
We'll have a booth there. So
Yep.
say Roger's going to be manning the booth.
I am? Oh, damn.
No, I'm kidding. We'll be manning the booth. And yes, so we're really looking forward to it. What day are you getting there?
Friday, I think Thursday night. I don't remember.
Probably Thursday night.
Yeah, probably Thursday night.
'cause
Yes.
I think most of the stuff starts on Friday. We've had Jay on our show before too. Jay DeForest, he's been on the show. He's really interesting.
Yeah.
Did you know he used to be a police officer?
No.
He
Oh,
did.
that's cool.
Yeah, he was a police officer in San Francisco. It was really fascinating. You should watch that podcast because he's really interesting.
Yeah, it is.
So thank you so much to Chris Ann for being on our show tonight. And you guys, again, I am really sorry about not that we could do
There's
anything
technical
about it.
difficulties.
We rigged it, so she'll come back on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally rigged. But that's it for this week, you guys. We want to keep honor y'all's time and Chris Ann's time tonight. You can listen to SoulWhat on Spotify, the iHeart Radio app, Google Podcast, iTunes, and of course by watching live on YouTube at Michelle Soultopia and both of our Facebook pages at SoulWhat and Soulistic Holistic Boutique. Thanks you guys for listening to SoulWhat, where we discuss matters of the soul and you decide what matters to your soul. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.